So I've had a lot of people asking me to do a garage tour or a garage setup video, so here you go. We're going to start over to the left. This is the new wing of the garage. We call it the Randolph wing. You will see our inspiration and cobwebs in front of old Randy's face. It's my father-in-law, you know, repping it hard for him. But yeah, this is a Randolph wing. We're not really going to go over the old part of the garage. It's pretty much storage now. We just keep unfinished projects or finished projects in it, and all of our parts and garbage. So this is kind of a afterthought. After we got the garage done, I had some leftover wood and wanted to build this quick table. This is where we charge all of our batteries, from our Porter cables to our Milwaukee's from KarthaPoles.com. And we also have some various woodworking bits over here that we do not use that often. I used to like woodworking, but don't anymore. So, and under the table we have various pieces of flat stock, and we keep kind of metal pieces over here and just kind of a random assortment of goodies. We can't forget about 1740 Beard Balm. They was one of the OG sponsors of the channel, and at the time I had never used some beard balm, so when they sent it I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't want to feel like a woman putting stuff in my beard, but it actually made it 1,000 times easier to tame a crazy beard in the morning. So thank you 1740 Beard Balm. Links to all these sponsors and a bunch of the tools and stuff we use in the garage will be in the video description below, as well as discount codes for most of our sponsors, so check those out. We'll talk about unfinished projects. Sometimes there's a project on the channel that I'm not too pumped about. I'm really pumped about the engine. I'm just not pumped about this frame, the single A-arm design. We've talked about it in videos. I don't like it, but we finally have the few pieces we was missing to finish this project. So this is where it's been set, and this is kind of, if we're in the middle of a project and we want to get on to something else while waiting on parts, this is where it gets parked. You can see we've stole the tires off of this for other projects, so this is coming very soon. Just please be patient. When projects are like this and I don't have, my heart isn't in it, it's hard for me to get, you know, pumped up to do these videos. Behind this project is where we keep more metal stock, and it's always nice to have just a place to pile up some metal, because it's a lot better than sitting outside and rusting up. Above that you can see that we have our wiring rack that I had built a long time ago. Fun fact, I used to wire cars before doing YouTube as a side business thing. It's called Red Tech. I would do backup cameras, navigation systems, you know, trailer wiring, any kind of wiring and accessory for cars, and I hated it. This was a little project I built when I used to wire cars, and it comes in handy on go-karts. You'll see in the wiring go-kart video coming up very soon. So this is our Pro Tools 302 tubing bender. We got this from a subscriber. We met him over emails and stuff, and he hooked us up with this, and we are so happy to have this thing. We haven't used it in a while since the twin engine build for Discovery, but we are pumped to start using this thing again. It's hard when you stop using a tool like this because you forget all the math and all the angles and all that jazz, but we're getting back to it. But yeah, Pro Tools 302 is a really nice bender. We finally got us a 1-inch die for it, so now we can do 1 inch and 1.5 inch, and I'm sure we'll buy more dies in the future. But it's on a nice little stand that he had built, the guy I got it from. Thank you, Chris. Shout out to Chris. This thing is awesome. We love it, and you'll be seeing this thing show up very soon in videos. We like the, this is a pneumatic one, so it runs on air. We hook up this pedal to the air compressor, and we just hit a pedal and bend it. It's a lot nicer than the hand crank ones, but if that's what you can afford, definitely get you one, because a pipe bender is better than not having any pipe bender. So if we move on to the right of the garage, you will see this is the home of the Everlast 211 SI MIG TIG and stick welder. We love this welder. It's a 220 welder. We're running argon gas on it, of course. We have not used the TIG side of it, and we'll never use the stick side, but the only thing we're lacking to use the MIG is straight argon gas, and we'll be getting that very soon and building us a nice welding cart. This welding cart, you can see the welder sticks out about 8 inches off the front of it, but this welder, it's amazing. We used to have a small 110 and we used argon gas. I actually converted that old 110 welder to runoff gas on the channel, and it worked great, but you really couldn't, if you was welding anything from 3/8 or thicker, you really couldn't get the heat you needed to really get, you know, a tough enough bond. So this thing is amazing. Definitely check Everlast out. We've had no problems whatsoever out of this welder, and we love it. Just the power, the ability with that extra power, you can lay down so much better beads, and we love it. So check out Everlast for sure. So this is a table we don't use often. We use it more of kind of a parts pile. Normally you'll see this in videos, piled up about head high with junk. But on this table right now, we got the Leafan 24 horse V twin that's going on a current project. We also have the Crustang. If you remember Brandon's Mustang, we have the turbo for it sitting up here. We got some various Heim joints, some lighting equipment from Oxbeam, and also some batteries from Go Power Sports. Like I said, this is for projects that's kind of in the works right now, so we kind of pile them up here instead of putting them in the old part of the garage, because these are going to go on stuff very soon. Performance Engineering, we got their banner up there, and also Quantum Machinery Group. We got our weld table that we will be showing you very soon from Quantum. Definitely check them out. They make the baddest weld tables in the world. Performance Engineering makes those sweet, sweet cup washers we like to slap on every engine and make it look riced out, and we love it. Underneath, we have some various old woodworking stuff. That's a bunch of router bits that needs to go up because we don't use a router often. This is my wiring box, very useful setup. It holds all my wiring connectors, my wiring tools, my voltage readers, and all that jazz. The totes here is also extra parts. This is more for the 670 that's on the Deuce. So we just stock stuff here instead of, like I said, placing it with the other hordes of go-kart parts. Moving right along, we have the LT 5000D plasma cutter. This is a 220 plasma cutter on Amazon.com. I did some trading on Craigslist actually and got this thing. I love it. We forget we have it, so we never use it, but we're going to start using it a lot more on the channel. But it's hard to get used to having a new toy in the shop because you're so used to grabbing an angle grinder. But we'll be using this Lotus LT 5000D, and you can find it in the description below. And all those links help us out on the channel, so definitely check them out. So we get to the OG workbench that used to be in the old part of the garage. Fun fact, again, this used to be a display in the Ford dealership that I worked at. This will kind of show you everything that the F-150s and 250s had to offer, from piston rod size to valve spring size, all that stuff. They was getting rid of it at the Ford dealership. I bought it, I leveled out the table and built, you know, put a nice piece of wood in it, and I built a lower rack and put all my toolboxes there. This also houses my computer and some various branding, and this is actually some fan art. Someone burnt that in a piece of wood. We really like that, and we have some of our nice packages of Performance Engineering parts, kind of the sample packs that you would see in stores, and you know, just various pieces and parts laid on this workbench. And this houses our main toolbox. This is where we do live streams. When you see those, normally on Saturdays we do live streams, so check us out on those live streams and get your answers, your questions answered. Maybe, we don't know, we might skip them and you might get mad about it, but we try to answer all the questions on live streams. Then we go down to our old junky Craftsman Toolboxes. These are non-ball bearing pieces of garbage, but they do their job, and that's good enough for us. When we look at our top drawer, we have all of our ratchets, extensions, and adapters. Next, we have metric sockets in 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. We are missing some on the 1/2 inch side, but we'll fill those as time goes by. Go on down to standard. This one's pretty much full, but there are some various sockets, and I tell you what, it drives me crazy having empty holes. Next is the little bit of deep wells that we have. That seems to get the job done, and our air impact gun, some, you know, pulley pullers, and various other pry bars, monkey wrenches, and whatnot. And the last drawer on this box is our Kartha Poles, where they had sent us this amazing Allen head socket set. We love these, and we also have our standard old Harbor Freight 90s. We like them all, and this is one of the most used tools in our shop. We have a set of calipers, just some ones from O'Reilly's, nothing special. We have an awesome Milwaukee Impact Gun. This thing is amazing. Make sure to check this out on karthatools.com because those links do help the channel out. These things are way stouter than our Porter cables. We love them. We also got from Kartha Tools the electric ratchet. It is awesome. Then we keep our 1/2 inch torque wrench up here, and then some pry bars from Kartha Tools as well. Moving over to our next set of boxes. The top drawer houses our standard wrenches. This is metric and standard. Just our regular wrenches and a little bit of stubbies right there. Is our standard ratchet wrenches. We have them in gear wrench as well as Craftsman brand, and we have some gear wrench stubs in the middle. Next drawer down is our metric wrench sets. We have Craftsman as well as gear wrench as well, and some stubbies in the center. Moving on down, we have, you know, paint scrapers, all kinds of scrapers, clean gaskets and whatnot. This is a Flywheel Puller Kit, I use these on 670s and other engines, very handy to have. This is our blades, random razor blades, different things to scrape some stuff, cut some stuff up. This is our rivet drawer. We have a standard rivet gun, box of rivets, as well as our thread insert tool. These are amazing. You need to check these out on Amazon. The link's in the description, like always. Another drawer sponsored by KarthaTools.com. He sent us a full vice grip set. These are amazing. We love these. You can't get enough of some good vice grips. Moving on to Harbor Freight sponsored drawer. All these different pliers are from Harbor Freight. They work great. It was a big kit. Some of them didn't come in the original kit, but this is a very well used drawer. To the bottom, this is kind of a random drawer. I haven't really decided what it's going to be over the 10 years I've owned this box, but you know, you can see little goodies, random wrenches and little bits and whatnot. And to the right, we have our old tower. I built this out of spare parts. I think it has like a quad core, 6-core processor. It's nothing much. It's just pretty much to run the live streams and browse for different, you know, torque specs and whatnot. We keep, it's really handy having a garage computer. If you have a laptop, of course, that would be just as handy, but I like this because I don't care if it gets all dusty and grimy. We need to dust that thing out. Last time it was an inch thick of dust in there. It had paint, bugs, all type of stuff, and she still kicks every day. So it's really nice just having an old beater you can run in the garage. We keep various other sponsors, like we have some random stuff that, you know, we've never shown on the channel. It's just stuff that I don't really like, so it's just kind of a crap pile on top of the tower. So we have a lot of people from time to time say that we're spoiled, we're working out daddy's garage and stuff. Throughout this tour, you'll see I do have a lot of tools, but it has taken me 10 years and a lot of hard work and money to get this garage to where it is. These tools didn't happen overnight. I remember when I turned 18, I lived on my own and I got my first income tax check. You know, holler back income tax time. And I bought my first big set of Craftsman tools. All the sockets that you see in those drawers, about 90% of them came from that first original investment. I think I spent like $1,000 on tools that one year, and then every year I tried to do that. And then of course throughout the year, it takes a long time to build this. Don't expect to get some crazy awesome garage, you know, in a year unless you're making bank, and I'm not. So this has taken a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and we are proud to have the sponsors we have, like KarthaTools.com and stuff, helping us out to get to where we need to be. So it's nice to finally see the garage where it's at, and we hope she keeps on growing. Keeping this thing moving right along, we're going to start at the top, work our way down. We have a standard set of northern tool wrenches. It's handy to keep a set on the wall instead of drawers because it's real fast just to grab these. And some scissors and different picks down below that. Then we have our Allen key sets as well as star bits. It's always nice to have a T-handle set up on the bench as well. Keep a set of hose clamps. It's really nice to have this just because you put these in a drawer, it'll fill up quick and they get tangled. And different little boxes. These are handy to have because you can, you know, put all your random knickknacks, tallywhacks, give a dog a bone. We also have some adjustable wrenches, some strikers for our little propane torch, and a really nice set of Evercraft screwdrivers. These are handy. I got those at Napa. And if you look at the very top, you'll see what's left of the 670. Made that picture, thought it was appropriate to put that up and give it memory. That was one of our best go-karts, you know, definitely isn't anymore, but and the steering wheel and what's left of a chunk of seat out of the driveway. Let's take a second to remember that.
Oh, you're on fire! You're on fire! Holy crap! Oh.
Cool. Okay, so thought that was pretty nice. If we ever have a big accident, you'll see another chunk on the wall. Moving right along, we have these boxes down here. Now this black box is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of a engine building tools. This is all going to get moved over to where I build my engines. You'll see that spot in a little bit. I want to get me a new toolbox very soon with ball bearing drawers where I can have all my tools in one large box and maybe take out one of these workbenches to put it there. But if we start with this Great toolbox. We keep our old quarter cable drill, still kicking, very good old drills. Have our impact, and I use this a lot for just, you know, screwing screws in the wall and whatnot, using in the house because it isn't as strong as that Milwaukee set. You know, we keep a set of cheap drill bits. You know, this one's half ran through, but it's really nice to use these cheap ones when you think you might break one, or, you know, just done some rough stuff. We have various packs of unibits. These unibits come in handy. People used to gripe at me all the time saying, why do you use unibits all the time? Because they work and I love them. O-ring set, impact screwdriver, 60% bit set, and random drill bits and taps. This is one of our babies. We love some real high quality drill bits. These are around $100, but very much worth it. These are amazing. They'll rip through anything we have, and we love them. So it's definitely worth getting you a really good quality set of drill bits, but it's always nice having the cheap ones just to bust up and run through. So this is our Dremel drawer. We have our Dremel bits and our nice little battery operated Dremel. This is the 8220, you can see there. It works very well. We need to get a couple extra batteries for it because in heavy use, these only last about 10-15 minutes. And we have also an old dusty. This will allow you to engrave stuff. Never used that before. Working on down to the next drawer. This is our wiring drawer. You have various pliers and heat shrink. You know, this kind of goes along with my tackle box. We have different breakers in here, all kinds of little goodies and doohickeys. So this is a good drawer to have too, kind of the electronic scrap drawer. And underneath we keep fuel lines, pull cord rope, you know, heat guns, staplers. It's all kind of random stuff down there as well. This is one of my favorite toolboxes because of its contents. This is a crusty, cheap tap and die set. Works really well. I do want to buy a larger tap and die set that'll do metric and standard. We have pencils, feeler gauges, chain brakes, different doohickeys for engines. We have a compression tester as well as a air hose that will actually hold your valves in your head when you're doing valve spring replacements. Jet drill bits, a little gauge for making random pieces of metal, flywheel puller, all kinds of goodies in that drawer. We have a honer and a valve grinding little stick. We have a ring tool and just other good stuff in here as well. This is our goops and gobs drawer. We have you know, some gasket maker. We have Loctite, copper NICs, just all of our good goops and gobbers. This is a personal drawer. We have some brass knuckles, old Nintendo game, you know, all kinds of lighter. It looks like a spark plug. Pretty sweet Leatherman, check engine light checker, just all kinds of junk. Yeah, that's the OG RBG stickers. Shut up if you want one of those free. This is random clamps and different fitting adapters. Good handy drawer to have, but you know, this is my thing with clamps. I'd much rather have them on a rack. Moving on down, we have two drawers of hoses and fuel filters. And in the bottom, we have our solder gun as well as a light. So it gets toasty in this garage pretty quick. We got about 1,000 square foot here. It's I believe 46 foot long, 21 feet wide, and it takes a lot to cool this puppy down because in the summertime it can get pretty toasty. So we hooked up with New Air a long time ago. They contacted us about some fans. They sent us out, you know, just a standard tabletop fan. I really love this fan. It's super stout. It's all metal. I really like it. And then they also sent us the one that you see up in the corner. This is one we'll stand up every once in a while on the tables and pivot that around where we're working, but super powerful fans. They do make a little bit of noise because they're blowing some wind. And then our newest addition from New Air is their awesome AC heat and dehumidifier. This thing does a really good job. It's only designed for about 500 square foot, but it handles this part of the garage very well. You can see we got a duct to blow out the door. And we have a few modifications that we learned about recently to make this thing perform even better in this garage. Like I said, this is only designed for about 500 square foot, so of course it's not going to keep it, you know, a nip hardening 68. But we're also going to be shutting off the old part of the garage with some of those plastic vinyl type, you know, flaps that you'll see in grocery stores and stuff, and that should make a massive difference. So we're not cooling a part of the garage that we rarely use. So we're over here so you guys can look at my nuts. We got a bolt bin finally, and we started stocking it. We got down to 1/2 inch bolts, and we're still not done. We got our nuts and lock washers and washers up top. We are going to get more of these bins and some different other bins to hold our washers and stuff. This was just kind of to get us by right now. We have 2 thread checkers. We got a metric and a standard. These are super handy. We got this from Napa. This is what they use in store, and man, I love them. I think it was around $45 a piece, and I love these things. It's really nice when you're really trying to find out how many nuts of one size you need. I always just make a list on my phone by checking it out with these, so super handy. And then we have, you know, a big pile of mess up here, but that'll get organized, you know, in good timing. We just need to, you know, save our coins and buy more bolts and another bin. This is the dry erase board that never came to be. We had plans to, you know, write down projects and write down what needed to be done. What would happen is that would get done, but we would never look at what we was supposed to be doing. So, you know, it'd be handy to put this to use one day, but as of right now, you know, we're not using it. So I guess it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. This is our Quantum Machinery Group Sigmund table, all the way from Italy. This thing weighs 2,175 pounds. It is 1 inch thick of like crazy hardened steel, and it is an amazing piece of equipment in our garage. It's my favorite piece of equipment in our garage. This thing is going to help us to build straight go-karts, not wobbly, wonky ones. And it's just so nice to have a huge solid workspace that is dead level. That's a big thing about it. Now we don't have to question ourselves whether something's level. If it's on top of this table and there's a level on it, it's going to be level. Thank you so much to Quantum for sending out this table, for sponsoring the channel. We can't believe what God has blessed us with. This is just an amazing addition to the garage. That and the Everlast welder, this is a great combo to have. You can see our clamp system from Sigmund on the end of the table. We will be getting a rack for these very soon, because it does take away from, you know, being able to get close to something and try to weld having these here. But awesome set of clamps. You can hold down all types of steel and weld it. It's just amazing. You'll be seeing us use this stuff a lot on the channel. Behind me you can see, you know, a little bit of safety equipment that has dust on it, because we're bad about not wearing safety equipment, but we should. We wear safety glasses a lot, but when you use an angle grinder, you really should wear a face shield, because I've seen some rough pictures online of what has happened to people. We have some pry bars, some files, random hammers. We finally got us a hammer because so many people yelled at us. You know, we got all types of measuring apparatuses over here. And also we have all these fixtures as well to go with the table to hold down all types of stuff that came with the Sigmund table. And we also have our clamps down below that. And down below that, I don't know if you can see it, but we have our awesome 90 big huge inch thick of steel. This helps you be able to line stuff up higher off the table. You'll see us using this stuff again on the channel very soon, and you can check out Sigmund, you know, Quantum Machinery Group and the Sigmund tables, and see how people has used all these brackets. I almost forgot our little buddy. This is a Zilla reel, 30-foot air hose reel. We have an extra 50-foot just in case we need to reach out in the driveway. And we have a 30-gallon Porter cable compressor that's just 110. We will be upgrading that in the near future to a 60-gallon 220, so we can run a paint gun and stuff. And we do have some painting equipment coming from Eastwood, so we will be finally painting go-karts in this garage. We're going to make us a temporary little paint booth and be painting some sweet go-karts up. Move on down, we have some random wire brushes, some flat discs, some cutting discs. We got some drop cores, and we finally got us a drill press. This is a drill press from Royal King. It's a lot like the Harbor Freight one. It was just $40 cheaper. This thing, it makes life a lot easier, as well as the X and Y axis vise. That was an eBay purchase, and I absolutely love it. Right beside of it, you can see we got an Eastwood bead roller. We'll be using this a lot on the channel, making panels and whatnot for go-karts, so watch out for that. Thing is really beefy, and Eastwood actually has an electric kit coming out for that bead roller, so you can convert it, as well as 90% of bead rollers on the market, to electric and not have to hand crank them. So that'll be very nice putting that to use. Moving right along, we have Go Power Sports. We always got to rep Go Power Sports, because without them we would not be able to do this. They have tremendously helped us out, and we love Tim and all the guys. Tim, Dave, Taylor, all of them down there at Go Power Sports. They're making this possible, as well as you guys. We never forget about where we came from. You know, thank you, Go Power Sports, for all your support. Down below that, you'll see we have some drill bits and some different dies for that bead roller. our little trusty eBay vise that we've had forever. Definitely need to upgrade on the vise. Over here we have random bits of metal, sandpaper, gussets, and other bits of metal, hole saw bits, and half-used flat disc and whatnot, wire brushes. This is kind of just a random corner box. So up on the wall you'll see our proud patrons. We do have a Patreon page, and we are happy to throw up their names on the wall. We love our supporters, and it's amazing that people even want to support us. It's great, and we are blessed, that's for sure. So if you want to check our Patreon out, links are in the description below. We're not asking you to donate, but people wanted us to set up a Patreon so they could donate, so that's the reason we did that. So thank you to our proud patrons and all of our patrons. Down below you'll see our little 110 grinder. This thing was pretty sweet, and all these are on our stands that we built from Junkyard Parts and Go Power Sports gussets. And then we can walk right over here and see our Bayer bandsaw with a homemade stand. This thing is super handy. Of course it'd be really nice to have a big stand-up bandsaw, but this was in the budget, and this thing works amazing for the small stuff that we do. So we will upgrade later, but this will always be in use in our garage. We absolutely love it. For burning go-karts, we have fire extinguishers now at each door. So just in case something ever goes down, you know, Lonnie can try his shot at being a fireman again.
Yeah, it's doing nothing. That's doing nothing for him.
So this is our Harbor Freight motorcycle lift. This was one of the big purchases of the garage back in the day, and we still use this thing all the time for go-karts and mini bikes. Absolutely love it. If you don't have one, check it out. You can find them on parking lot sales and stuff for a lot cheaper. I think they're around 400 bucks new, and we found this one for $270 new in a parking lot sale. So as soon as I seen the ad, we ran a couple towns up. We bought this thing, and it has brought nothing but joy to our souls. It's a very nice product to have for go-karts and mini bikes, dirt bikes, hogs, whatever you got. And this is where it all started, in the old part of the garage. We've had so many good memories in this little part of the garage, but I can't imagine doing YouTube now in just this small space. Most people probably remember this wall of random performance parts and just random good stuff. I always wanted this to be my backdrop. I had random clutches and cam gears and stuff left over from projects, and we thought I'd slap them up on the wall. And this is where I build my engines. You can see we have a 420. We just did a high torque build on them. We're about 90% done with that video. We have different rods sitting around, different lubes and oils and sprays we use in engines. Just assortment of performance parts. Engines everywhere is in this corner. So this is where I like to throw headphones on and just build my engines and then do my voiceovers later. Yeah, we have performance parts down low. You can see trash cans overflowing. You know, we keep it crusty in this part of the garage because this is where she all started. Guys, thank you so much for supporting us. We can't thank you enough. This is amazing. God has truly blessed us. Again, I'm going to repeat myself because the fact that I can wake up and do this stuff for a living is amazing. We're sorry from time to time videos don't come out in the order you'd like, or if stuff takes a little bit of time. We just get frustrated like any human being can get. So give us a break sometimes. Be easy in the comment section, and if you don't, we'll just laugh at you. Man, you might make it to the jack wagon of the day. So thank you so much for supporting us. Thank Go Power Sports for allowing us to do this. We can't believe that we're almost 100,000 subscribers, and that's all due to you guys watching the videos, which makes them more popular, which helps other people to find them. We wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for our supporters, and truly thank you. You know, we're ending it at the OG intro wall, and yeah, it's amazing. I hope we're on here many more years. We'll just have to see what God has in store for us, but we plan on slapping out those dirty go-kart videos and mini bikes for you for years to come, teaching you how not to do stuff and how to do stuff with our crusty fab work. Thank you guys for watching. God bless, and we love you. Redbeard's Garage is powered by GoPowersports.com. GoPowersports has a huge amount of awesome go-kart and mini bike parts, and when making your purchase, use the Redbeard discount code in the upper right-hand corner of your shopping cart to grab yourself a sweet deal. Hit that subscribe button and make sure the notification bell is on so you'll never miss another episode, and go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest to stay up to date with the channel. Guys, always come back to Redbeard's Garage. I'm out.